if you tried it at all or not. If you are still doing it, you can continue for another minute or you can take your last round. But this is a very important part, and I really hope you all can add this to the next 2 days to see the power of pranayama. If anyone is having a blocked nose, then you can try doing some simple exercise to relieve the blocked nose, maybe a few jumping jacks just to create some heat here, or you could do it with a blocked nose. Even if you do it slowly, it will help open up the blocked nose. So don't rush it, don't try to make it perfect, make it yours, just enjoy it. Twice a day, 8 to 10 minutes each time. You can combine this with right after your exercises, and this is really powerful. Yeah? Okay. So we will move to the sixth addition to a fast, which is rest. How many of us underestimate the power of rest? Because it sounds so simple. It sounds like I want to tell me to do something. This is like I'm not doing anything. What is the benefit of not doing anything? And we all are guilty of this. We all want to make the most of our day. We all tend to, the last thing we want to prioritize is our sleep or our rest. So just want to discuss, we're putting in so much effort into taking away Pran Shakti from digestion, where it is maximum and mostly consumed. Now that the Pran Shakti is available for healing, if we start doing things which again get the Pran Shakti absorbed in those things, what good is that? How will that really help us eliminate the toxins? So for Pran Shakti to do healing, we must not only stop it from digesting, but also stop it from getting diverted into other areas which will get absorbed by. What are those other areas which we tend to do? We tend to gossip with our friends. We tend to watch TV. We tend to watch news. We tend to do other things which then get us stressed and strained and active in the mind. And then our Pran Shakti again can't do any healing work. So by having given up food, that's really, really good. That's the first step. Now let's make sure that the Pran Shakti doesn't get distracted doing anything else. So sleep is very important. What time do you think we should all sleep at night for maximum rest and maximum benefit of the rest? 9 p.m. So the golden rule here is any sleep we get between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. midnight will actually count for twice the value in terms of quality of sleep. So many of us may sleep for 8 hours but don't feel rested in the morning because we may not be getting those 3 hours of quality sleep. So let's try to sleep at 9 o'clock. Let's be in bed at 9 o'clock. Many of us may feel like हमें तो नींद ही नहीं आता, we don't feel sleepy so early. Never mind. Get into bed. Keep your phones away, get into bed, make the practice, and your body will take it as a sign to sleep early. When you sleep at 9 o'clock, you'll see the power of how you feel in the morning when you wake up. Especially during a fast, your body will take up all those hours into intense healing. We heal the most when we are sleeping or when we are resting. So how many of you will sleep at 9 o'clock today or will be in bed without your phones at 9 o'clock today? Let's at least set an intention to be in bed at 9 o'clock. Can we? All of us should really do it. So that's the physical part of rest, where we can put our body to rest at 9 o'clock. What about mental rest? What about through the day when we may be actually lying down, but we are thinking so much and we are actively planning, scheming, thinking, getting stressed because of our mind. So what are those areas and activities which we must be careful to avoid during a fast? Because they can tap and take away our Pran Shakti from healing. Intense work calls, where we are getting stressed by something happening at work and we are continuously engaging our mind into work calls. So let's minimize. If anyone is still doing an 8 hour day or a 10 hour day at work, request you to make it to 6 hours, or don't get an over and indulged with work during the fast. So you want to be more peaceful, more grounded. If we strain ourselves too much during a fast, it can again have repercussions. So request you to not any anytime you find your mind overthinking or engaged in too much of thoughts which are tapping our Pran Shakti, try to bring it back. And what are the ways? Exercise, pranayam, going on a walk, watching the documentaries. These will all realign your Pran Shakti, your energies in the right areas. So we will practice one simple way of resting. It's called Yog Nidra, and many of you may have heard of it, tried it, experienced it, but I will guide you all through a short 7 to 10 minute Yog Nidra right now. So you can be wherever you are. If you're lying down on your bed, then you can lie down straight, that is great. If you're sitting on a chair, you could just sit erect. Again, please remove your glasses or anything which is tight, and I request you to give me the next 8 to 10 minutes completely uninterrupted. I would like to guide you through this beautiful experience, and you'll experience what rest means and what rest can feel like in just a short time. This is by no means a replacement for sleep, but it is another way of catching up on that rest and giving the body a rest even through the day. So all you have to do is hear me, you don't have to see me. So for the next 8 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can just lay down, or if you can just close your eyes and follow my guidelines. Close your eyes and relax your mind. Relax your body mentally. Relax your whole being and concentrate on your breath. Don't try to breathe a certain way. Just focus on your regular breath. Become aware of the air as it touches your body, how it feels on your skin. Remember the intention which you set for yourself for the fast. Allow those words to replay in your mind. Now collectively, we will take a few breaths together. Place one hand on your stomach and the other hand on your heart. And let's inhale together. And take a deep exhale together. We will try that once more, and this time we will exhale with a deep sigh from our mouth. So we can inhale and exhale with your mouth. Try that once more. Inhale from your nose and exhale from your mouth. Now I will guide you through different parts of our body. You don't have to move yourself. Just listen to the words and allow the words to go straight into you. As you close your eyes, pay attention to the third eye, the part between your eyebrows. To the tip of your nose, to your throat, the middle of the neck, to the middle of your chest, to your right shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Your wrist, elbow, and your shoulder. Middle of the chest. This time we move on to the left shoulder. Elbow, wrist, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, middle of the chest, the navel or the belly button, your hip, right side of the hip, knees, ankle, first toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Ankle, knee, hip. Moving on to the left side, left hip, knee, ankle, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Ankle, knee, hip, navel, middle of the chest, middle of the throat, top of your nose, back to the brow center, the third eye. Bring your attention back to your breath. And slowly feel yourself coming back. Notice how quiet your heartbeat is. Notice how quiet your mind is. Slowly we will all come back. Hi. So we're back live, and that was a very short Yoga Nidra session. There are many online videos on Yoga Nidra which I recommend you can watch on YouTube. Excellent to do any time of the day. Very powerful when you're fasting. So just want to do a quick recap of the last addition to the fast, rest. We need 8 hours of sleep, and we must sleep at 9 p.m. at night to get those 3 golden hours of double quality sleep, if we can say so. And we want to stay away from anything which saps our mental peace, any work calls which are very intense, TV, news channels, gossip, or anything which is engaging us and creating stress for us. That is the opposite of rest. And if we get a chance to practice any Yoga Nidra, that's bonus. That's really good. So YouTube has many good Yoga Nidra guided meditations. Highly recommend them to you. So we will do a quick recap of all the 6 additions to fasting, and I would like all of you all to try all 6 in the evening today, tomorrow morning, and even on you can take it forward from there to really know the benefits. Maybe right now we've understood it intellectually and we've experienced it a little bit, but when you do it in your life and you do it while you fast, you will start to see the magic, how the simple things are more important than the complicated things. And these are those 6 simple things which you can do to really increase and boost the quality of your fast. So how many of you want to do all 6 today and tomorrow? Sunbathing, enema, wet pack, exercise, pranayam, and sleep at 9 p.m. Please, I recommend and I hope all of you all can do it to see the benefit for yourself. To make this a little easier, we have tried to create a very basic schedule which you can follow in the mornings. So like I said, we sleep at 9 o'clock. We wake up anywhere between 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we devote 1 full hour to exercising, pranayam, and sunbathing. So you can decide what time works best for you. This is just a rough outline, a schedule we have created. And after that, we dedicate some time to our wet pack and our enema. And then we get ready with our juice, and the session starts at 10 o'clock. So this is very rough, very basic, but it's very powerful. And you'll be surprised at how the fast will become so seamless and so easy. And all our detox symptoms will get taken care of if we follow this morning routine properly. And all of these are recommended so that you can continue them even after your fast. not just during the fast. If there are any questions, our FAQ page has many of them answered, and if there are still questions on the FAQ page, you can reach out to us and we will answer them for you. So I think we're ready to move on. Subhasha, there's one very interesting person we want to talk about.
So I hope you had a great session with Harsh, knowing how to do pranayam, yoga nidra, and rest exercise. We are going to move on. We're going to introduce you to someone who is made fasting a big part of his life, to the extent that he's perpetually on a fast. He's not eaten since the past 20 years now, and nor has he had any water. His name is Elatom. He's a breatharian, and many of you may have heard of breatharians before. We want to show you a video of him today. How many of you have heard of the concept of breatharianism before? Okay.
Nobody.
Brilliant. So let's watch a video of a breatharian, and after the video we'll discuss, is it really possible to live only on prana, to live only on air?
Up in this type of household, when I finally broke away and got my own family and got married, that idea too was in my head, to always have enough food to feed your family, and I also bought extra freezers, extra refrigerators, because that was the idea, to always have food available. Now as time went forth, I began to gain more and more weight, and I began to feel very bad. However, everybody in my reality, growing up in America, because it was encouraged to eat the 3 meals a day, however it was the 5 meals a day and the big portions, that was commonplace where I grew up at. So however, I began to gain more and more weight, really feel bad about myself, and then one day as I had to go see the doctor, my blood pressure began to rise and a whole lot of other things began to come into play. However, one day out of being desperate, I ran into a man who said, "Won't you just leave meats alone?" Now at that time, being desperate and my health really feeling bad, I was willing on doing anything, so I left the meats alone. And at that time I didn't realize it, but that was the motivation to lead me into the pranic journey, by leaving those heavier foods alone. So not only I left the meats alone, I began to also put an exercise routine in my lifestyle. And then I began to learn more about holistic foods, being more vegan, learn more about live and raw foods. But then it got good. I started learning more about fasting. I started fasting once a week, and it started out for religious purposes. But as time went on, I started to learn about meditation. Now, learning about meditation, that gave me the knowledge to learn about the energy channels within the body. Now, there was a time I didn't know they existed or not, but as I went into the practice and began to focus on those different energy channels, I began to get a boost of energy. It began to better my health, give me more energy, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was already on the pranic journey, because the pranic journey is a holistic health message. So as time went on, I went more into 80% live and raw foods. My meditation, I really stayed with it, and I was so proud of what I did with my health. I got rid of all of that weight. I went from 180 pounds to 160 pounds, and I really felt good about myself. Then one day a young lady said to me, "There's people who can live without eating." And I said, "What?" So I began to go check that information. Now 19 years ago, because I've been on this path 19 years, they really didn't have that much information like today. But anyway, I did the best I can. I tried to find the most information I can. And what I found that there was a 21-day process at the time that was in circulation. However, I didn't have enough money to take 21 days off of work. I just got married, just bought a house. So what gave me my confidence that I could pull this off, since I didn't have enough money to go out of the country for 21 days, is that the improvements I've already made on my health. I was already living a life of 80% live and raw. I was already into fasting once a week. I was already meditating constantly, and I was already exercising. So I seen all of these health improvements. Now again, I didn't notice it was the pranic journey already. That's why I teach people on this type of level of, first you gotta learn how to eat. First you gotta put exercise into your life, fasting and so forth, and meditation, because that's the foundation of living on prana. So anyway, when I found out about it, and I started to study as much as I can, I went into food freedom. Now what I learned was the physical body was easy to get into a food-free state. But the problem was the accumulated habits that I've done throughout the years of eating. And food is all around you. And my son just did a real good research on food and its association with drug addiction. Your body does give off reward centers of oxytocin, dopamine. And when you're dealing with foods that you love and you've created this habit, this is what the human being is up against. So anyway, I went on to the pranic levels, and there's many different levels and degrees. So I learned how to eat once a day. I learned how to eat every 3 days. So I understood that as I kept learning more and more and more about being on this path, because keep in mind, you cannot really tell an experience. You have to go through the experience to learn about it. So as I was going through this experience, this is what makes me